How can I use my retirement funds to change my life today? A bit of a doozy on this one. I like this one. I love a good doozy. If you guys want to send in your viewer mailbags, feel free. Like Chris was saying, you can go to thefiguys.com. You can send it in there. You can email us at the Fi Guys Video Podcast as well if you guys want to be featured on Fi Friday Feedback, viewer mailbag. And the juicier the better, because you know I love a good juicy story. Anyway, howdy Chris. Howdy Dom. Howdy. I am a 29-year-old woman. Congratulations. I have been working in a factory for the past decade, often putting in 10 to 14-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. Not tamales.
That's not sustainable.
Not sustainable. Not sustainable. During this time, I've dedicated myself to supporting my family with their debts, helping them get back on their feet, and covering medical expenses. What a nice human. As the main breadwinner, I struggle to make ends meet, and I still have my own heavy debt to pay off. No, I'm sorry. She said, I struggled to make ends meet until recently when I finally paid off my own heavy $10,000 debt. Well, congratulations on paying the debt off.
That's awesome. Great
Yes.
job. But, working 10 to 14 hour days, 6 to 7 days a week, that's going to be really tough. This person's only 29 years old. They're also paying off their family's debt.
That's a lot of weight on the shoulders.
It's a lot of weight on the shoulders for someone so young. And they said they've been working at the factory for the past decade. That means they started when they were probably 18 or 19 years old. And my guess is those entire last decade, since the time they're 18 or 19, they were the main breadwinner supporting their family.
Yeah, that's commendable.
It's going to be tough.
But it's
commendable. It's going to be very tough.
Yeah, that's heavy. My social life is minimal. My closest companion is my mom. That's cute. I always love hearing this. It's so cute. Okay, so back to serious, Dom. The demand for work has left me a little time for dating or pursuing hobbies. Due to the strain from my job, I now rely on a back brace and daily painkillers. Lately, the stress has been affecting my ability to wake up for work, and I've been considering withdrawing the whole $30,000 balance from my 401k to potentially move out on my own and simply live a more fulfilled life. I've never taken vacation or traveled anywhere really, and I yearn for a fresh start. Despite my love for family and financial constraints tightening, and my mental taking a toll on my job, it's becoming quite overwhelming. Although my factory job pays $17 an hour, significantly more than any other local job, it leaves me exhausted with very little time for my Etsy business, selling stickers, charms, and my YouTube channel with 12,000 subscribers. First off,
YouTube channel with 12,000 subscribers.
Congratulations.
What the fuck?
Chris is like, damn, what the heck, man? Congratulations on the 12,000 subscribers. Congratulations on the small business. We love a good small business. We love the Etsy shop. We love that. We love a good side hustle. I'm not calling your stuff a side hustle, but hopefully you can make it into a main hustle. Let me
it does concern me though that they have this side business that they're creating when they're working 10 to 14 hours a day.
Yeah, it's like
6 to 7 days a week. Like, at
what
time are they
Chris?
doing this? Don't get me wrong. If she loves making the charms, she loves doing the YouTube videos, and that's like she would do that regardless of the money coming in. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I do get concerned when I hear that like she's dedicating 10 to 14 hours a day. The rest of the time should be dedicated to sleeping. What time are we doing a YouTube channel with?
We need 8 hours.
Yeah,
and for females, it's a little bit more, right?
Sure.
Also, we're just gonna scrape right over the painkiller thing and not being able to work. That's
a worry.
Yeah, that's more than a worry. I mean, you want to talk about future medical expenses. I mean, that's going to be a problem down the line. Like we talked about, earlier in the podcast, you got to do what's best for yourself down the line as well, not just for today. So yeah, let me keep reading. I'm contemplating using the 401k funds to pay the bills and take a year off from work to focus on my online venture full time. This break could potentially kickstart my new career path. However, I'm uncertain. And if I can endure my current job much longer, I'm not sure if I can endure my current job much longer, both mentally and physically. Any advice on whether withdrawing from my 401k to pursue my change of lifestyle or career is wise? Should I stick it out for a few more years and pray it gets better? Thank you. Wowzers. From factory days to creative ways, I'm ready for my 401k to unlock life's new phase. Boy,
Boy,
that's a doozy. That's a doozy.
that's a lot.
Okay, nothing to worry about though. 5 guys are here to help.
Yeah, we're gonna fix everything.
We
We're
got
the
this.
heroes of your
Okay.
story. No.
Save
Okay,
us,
so save her.
Save her.
So let's say that. First off, I'm just going to answer your question. Should I take the 401k out? No, you should not take the 401k out, because even if you do take the 401k out, you're 29 years old. You're going to hit with a 10% penalty. So now we're already taking $3,000 off, and then it's going to get added to your highest marginal tax bracket. Let's figure that out real quick. You said you make $17 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be generous and say you only work 10 hours a day, not 14. And let's also say you're only working 6 days a week, not 7, which is equal to $10,020 before taxes or any deductions. That's a week. So if you parse that out, a year you're making $53,000. Because
or 1,020. 1,020.
1,020, times 52 weeks, you're making $53,000.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take out taxes. And I know most people go, oh, well, you always use low tax bracket states. So let's do California. California, highest tax bracket state. Now you're making $42,000. Right now, you're already struggling to make ends meet on $42,000 a year after taxes. If you take out $30,000, we take off a 10% haircut, that takes you to $27,000, and now we have to pay taxes on that $27,000 as well. Again, let's say we're back in California. That gives you what, $23,000 to live off of. If you can barely make it with $42,000, I see no way in hell you're going to be making it on $23,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be extremely difficult. Do you know how much money you spend a month? Because while I'm saying that, $4,000 a month after taxes may not be a lot, depending on what part of the country you're in, I'm curious as to what it is that you're dedicating your time to. Like, how is this all working out? Because if you're working 10 hours a day, I'm assuming there's 2 hours of overtime minimum every day. So you're probably making far more than my assumptions. I'm going on the lowest end of everything. You're not making any overtime, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a budget, or has the budget always been going towards paying off the family's debts, doing all this stuff? What can we do right now to make those changes in life?
Also, we did a podcast on this completely. I'm not really sure what the number is, but I'll give you the breakdown of it. Can you ask for a raise? Can you move your position? I know you said she works in a factory. Is there another factory you can transfer to? Maybe to try and get more competitive pay. Can we get better benefits? Right? The hours are, I know you're working a lot because you need more money, right? But you're not going to be able to work if your health declines.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind and your body are taking a pretty big hit. I mean, for you to tell us about it means it's very serious, or you're just the most honest person I've ever met. That worries me. That worries me a lot, because we have a person here that is looking for a miracle. She's looking just to drop it all. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gone. Right? You see it all the time. It builds up, especially in corporate America. You're tired of getting the crap beat out of you. You're tired of being taken advantage of. All of a sudden, you know what? Screw it. I've reached and that's a dangerous place to be, because when you're at that point, you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn. And you know what? Screw it. Whatever. Take the taxes. I'll live on X amount of dollars. Take it. And that's a very dangerous place to be. So a better way to do it is, let's try to plan before the tipping point, before the body breaks, the mind breaks, your patience breaks. The job, the guy comes in and he's like, we have layoffs. I'm going to have to, I got you maybe 3 or 4 days a week now. It's like, so we got to plan for these things before they happen. I agree with Chris. You don't want to take the money out and take that.
No, we don't.
That hard-earned money, given the taxes, that's stupid.
Especially, like, she's built that up over the last decade. I'm sure it's been diligent, probably, whatever her match is, there's probably a small amount of money every month like that's been
Hmm.
building up, and that $30,000 is just due power of compounding. Let's say compounding at, I don't know, 7% per year. It would
Yeah.
give her a low return. Well, she's 30 years old. At 40, that becomes $60,000. At 50, that becomes $120,000. At 60, that becomes $240,000. So are you willing to sacrifice having $22,000 right now, or $23,000 after taxes and penalties? Or would you rather have $240,000 when you're at 60 years old, traditional-ish retirement age?
Hmm.
It's going to be even more if you wait till 65 or 70 or whatever age that you feel like. So one thing she did say is that she was helping paying off her family's medical debts and whatnot, and she was also paying off her own. So now that she's paid off her debts, all that money was going towards something before, was going towards paying off debts, going towards paying off family debt. Can we now take that money that was going towards debts and now move it towards like a travel fund or a side hustle fund? Because it sounds like what you really need is a break.
Yeah.
So can we take that money and just like save it up for a month, like for 1 month, and then you could say like, hey, I need to take FMLA, I need to take family medical leave for 1 month, and just get that break, get that reset that you need to really like it. Is it going to be harder to go back to work after that month? Yeah, probably. No one likes going back to work. It's the same thing as summer school or taking a
Hmm.
summer. No one likes going back to school, but you go back and it's not as bad as you thought it was.
Yeah. See your
There are
friends
parts
again.
that you actually enjoy.
Hmm. Hmm.
So is that something we can do? I mean, in general, this is just general life advice. You don't like there's whenever there's a question of should I drain my future 401k, my future retirement to finance my presence, stop and do something else. You
Yeah.
don't want to cash out your retirement for non-retirement things. Taking out your 401k in this instant is not the answer. The answer is how can I get control of my budget? Because what I fear is happening. She's making $4,000 a month. I don't know how much money was going towards paying off the debt and the family's medical debt. What it sounds like you really need to do is you need to have a hard conversation with your family and tell them, guys, like I can't keep on doing this for you. Because from your family standpoint, what do they have to? Why do they have to figuring out their finances? They have the hero in you. They know that you're going to go to work. You're going to work hard, and you're just going to pay off their debts. So what's going to be the thing that's enacting them to make a change? They know you're going to work for them. So it's going to be the hard choice right now. The hard choice is to have that conversation and tell them, guys, I can't keep doing this. You're going to have to be your own heroes now. You have to do this because I need to focus on me. I have to put my own oxygen mask on before I can put on yours. Because right now you're putting everyone else ahead of you. And that is commendable. That is so commendable. But at some point you are going to break. And when you break, where does that leave the rest of the family?
Yeah.
Who is currently dependent on you to make it out? It's going to be much harder for them. At least right now, if you tell them they need to take responsibility for their own actions, you can still be there as their backstop. But if you run yourself ragged and you can't be their backstop anymore, now they fall into depths of despair that they can't get out of. Where you currently are right now, do you want that to be the rest of your family? I would think not. I think you'd love them more to have the tough conversation now to hopefully save them from themselves and also save yourself from them.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Spot
it's a
on.
struggle. Like the painkillers thing scares the hell out of me.
Hmm.
The working 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week scares the hell out of me.
Yep.
The fact that like I know she's at that breaking point. Like you said, like she's just like, I don't care. I'll do anything. Just get me out of it. That's all that matters to me right now.
Yeah.
Might she get that and she'll feel good for a little while? Yeah. But then everything's going to come back to her with compound interest of it being a screw up. And unfortunately, most of the time when you take out your 401k, what most people do, they don't withhold taxes and they don't withhold the penalty. Because if you call your 401k company, you call your IRA, you say, I want to take all my money out right now, they're going to ask you, do you want to withhold taxes? Do you want to withhold the penalty? They're not going to do it for you unless you tell them to.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to get that $30,000. So what are you going to do? You're going to spend that $30,000. Then at the end of the year, you're going to owe $3,000 for the early penalty and you're going to owe the taxes. And now you're going to be in a way worse situation because right now your job, they're taking out taxes.
Yep.
Every month. You're not getting that full $4,000 check every month. You're getting a fraction of that that's already taken out taxes and everything that they estimate you're going to have to pay. Because what the job doesn't want to do is set you up for failure because they know if they give you all your money, majority of people are going to spend all their money. So they give you some of your money. I mean, that's part of adulting, right? You go and you work 40 hours a week. You're like, oh man, I know my hourly rate. You get that check, and then you're like, whoa, what the hell just happened? You see all these line items, all these deductions, and that's just part of adulting. But it's the company trying to protect you from yourself.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, there's only two things that are guaranteed in life, and that's death and taxes. So they're trying to protect you from you. Dom, do you have anything to leave this person? I mean, my big takeaway is don't take out the 401k. It sounds like what you really need is a break. And what we really need in order to get that break is we need to know how much money we're spending so we can start diverting the money from what we have been putting towards paying off the debt, paying off the family stuff, and see like if I know I spend $4,000 a month, if I have $4,000 in my account, I can take a month off. Obviously, that's not a great decision because if something goes wrong, it is
Mhm.
what it is. But at least right now, it sounds like you're living paycheck to paycheck. Once you get that little bit of financial cushion, it actually gives you time to breathe and to get your head out of the muck and see like, okay, I can work this out. But when you're in it all the time, you can't see anything but what's right in front of you.
Absolutely. You know, she helped her family get out of the medical debt. She helped herself get out of the $10,000 in debt. I think if I was this person, I don't know if there's a father, if there's a mother, if there's a brother, if there's a sister, but I'm just gonna
Well, there's a
assume
mother. She says it's her
there's a
best
mother. So
friend.
yeah, there's a mother. So I'm just gonna assume there's a mother, there's a father, and there's a brother, right? And there's her, right? So 4 people. I don't know if they She didn't really say. Did she say if she lived with them or
I think she lives with her mom.
lives with her? Okay,
Just
with her
just
mom.
just based off that, because she said that she spends all of her time with her mom. So I'm gonna assume she lives with mom.
Okay, so I'll just use this example then. What I would do is like I obviously like get your finances, like see how much you make, see how much you spend, see what we can cut, see what we can't cut, right? The super basics, right? I would also do that for your mom as well, and see if. And this isn't it. This is just for me. This is my crazy brain. And Chris, knock it down if you think it's a bad idea. But I would really like, okay, as a team, as a household, how much do we make? You know, because on paper I might make 1,020 a week, or 4,000 and 4,000 some change
Mhm.
a month, right? I might make 4,000 a month, right? Mom, I don't know if she has social security, if she has disability, I don't know if she has a pension. I don't know what's going on there, but I would say, okay, if you're making say 3,000 a month, I'm making 4,000, right? Together as a house, we're making 7,000. Where is $7,000 going? I, I go to the grocery store. I buy food. I'm not spending 7,000. I have a car. It's not, it's worth less than 7,000, right? So where's this money going? Is it a house payment? Okay, it's a house payment, right? $2,000. Kind of high. 2,000's kind of high. Me, depending on where you're living. But okay, we have 5,000. Where's the 5,000 going? As a house, as a team, I think you've been the person, the guy. I know you're a woman, but you've been the guy, right? The woman taking care of the house, bringing home the bread, bringing home the money. Really anchoring the house. But I think what a lot of people do when they are the breadwinner is they feel like the entire responsibility is shouldered on them. Family is there for a reason, right? They're supposed to be there for you. They're supposed to help you when you need help. They're supposed to, you're a team. You're a team. So it's like let's work as a team, see where all this money is going. Because these 14-hour days, not sustainable.
Yeah.
You're in your 20s, you're in your prime age to work 14-hour days. You're not going to be able to work 12, 14-hour days, 6 days a week in your 40s, your 50s, and your 60s, maybe in your 30s, but you're going to see rapid decline. I mean, you're already seeing decline now with your mental health and the painkillers and the back brace and all that stuff. Lean on your family. Now that they're out of debt, now that you're out of debt, let's stay there. Let's stay there. It's such a nice feeling to be out of debt.
Yeah. Something that you brought up that I just thought of, like when you're the provider, right?
Mhm.
So I even with Dylan's dad, we talked about him working double jobs, right?
Yeah.
In her, she can go out and she can work as hard as she can to bring in $4,000 a month. And every month we're still in the red. So what does she say? She says, okay, the issue is that I'm not bringing enough money. I need to bring in more money. I need to work more hours. I need to work harder. F my back. I'll just pop more painkillers. It's fine. And I keep working. But if mom's at home or even you're at home and you're spending $6,000, $7,000, It doesn't matter how hard you run if it's all falling out the back end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I think of like there's a boat and it's filling up with water and you're just trying to scoop as much as you possibly can. But until you plug that hole, which in this case is the spending, if you track your spending for a month, you'll get to see this is where the money is going. And then from there, that's why I'm so big on the conscious spending plan and spend tracking, not budgeting. I don't really care about budgeting. That's what I aspire to happen, but it never does happen. But if I track my spending, then at the end of the month, I can look back and I can audit and be 100% stare naked at my inadequacies and say, damn it, I spent a lot more money eating out than I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And I can make the decision. That was totally worth it. I love that. Or next time where I'm looking to go out and eat, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Last month I spent a lot on eating out, and I know that if I look at it at the end of this month, I'm gonna be very disappointed in myself. And I'm making the hard decision right now to set future me up, because future me is the same person. It's still me, but too often do we say f that person? They have to deal with it. Where if we learn to love that person, that they are us. So one thing that I've done is you write a letter to yourself in 30 years, and like try to really envision yourself, who you are, and then also project yourself 30 years into the future and write a letter to yourself right now, either
Mm-hmm.
saying thank you so much for all that you're doing. Write it. If you're financially not in a good spot, project yourself 30 years in the future. Go on Snapchat, get that old face one that does it. Look at yourself, say, this is me in 30 years. Look at the wrinkles, look at the bag lines, look at all that stuff. You're probably gonna look like me, not looking great, but look at yourself in the future. And then go back 30 years, 20 years, 40 years and say, Dominic, thank you so much for all that you did starting today. You started saving money. You started working out. You started doing all these things. And now that you start to like that person, you start to know who that person is in the future, who is you, who again is you, you're going to start to try to work to set that person up for success. And that's ultimately going to set them up for success, but it's going to make your life right now so much better too. Because we can have fun. You can go out, you can party. That's the easy choice. Going out, partying, drinking, having all that fun. And does it feel good in the moment? Yeah, it feels good in that moment, but tomorrow's going to be a bitch. And you even know that like right now, it probably doesn't feel all that great. It feels better being home with my family. That feels so much better. Spending time with my wife, that's so much better than going and drinking every night. But everyone's different. If you say that going out drinking every night is your thing, if you say going out spending all of your money is your thing and that brings you all the happiness in the world, I'm not the person to tell you not to do it. But I am saying that it's going to set you up for failure in the future. It's going to set you up for a harder life in the future. And you can choose. You can say, Chris, that's worth it. YOLO, I'm going to do it. Cool. You do you. I'm going to do me. And I'm not trying to be some things to all people. I'm trying to be all things to some people.
Yep.
And if you're part of the FI family, you want to be part of that, then that's great. Be part of the tribe here. If that's not you, that's cool. You can click off the video. You can leave a comment saying you guys are stupid, whatever. We can't fix that.
Yeah.
So with that, big hugs from Arizona. You got this. And again, it sounds like you just need that break. And I agree, you do need a break.
Yeah.
But please set yourself up before you take that break.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Best of luck from Arizona. We wish you all the well, all the health, all the wealth, all the wisdom, everything you need. Good luck.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.